Good morning, and this week I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is Voices of the Restoration. It was tagged on the last of last week's um, reading, but last week was a lot. You probably noticed a lot of reading. I think it was the longest reading we had for the year, and it had loads of names and people in it as well. And so I thought this is a shorter reading this week, very short, in fact. Um, and I thought I would tag on the Voices of Restoration. There's also one at the end of this week as well, another Voices of the Restoration. So I thought I'd do this one today. Start. Um, Come follow me for this week, tomorrow, and work through the week that way. Um, Finishing with Voices of the Restoration again, because these become important as well. The Book of Mormon, the Bible, the New Testament, all of those have narratives to them. But the Doctrine and Covenants is really um, jam-packed with just the revelations that Joseph Smith has received. Um, and sometimes we miss the meaning of those revelations unless we understand some context as well. So after 124, we have um, the Religious Society in 1842. So 124 is in 1841. Um, and Joseph, well, let's read a little bit. In 1842, the Relief Society was organized in Nauvoo, Illinois. The prophet Joseph said, "The church was never perfectly organized until the women were thus organized." Similarly, a study of the revelation of the Lord's church and his priesthood is not complete unless it includes the Relief Society, which itself is a restoration of an ancient pattern of female disciples of Jesus Christ. Now, for me personally, I grew up in a house with my father died when I was 2, so my experience was with um a maternal unit, you might say, um and a strong tie to the Relief Society. I had 6 sisters as well, so I got to see that, and a few of them have been Relief Society presidents as well. So I got a little bit of, I mean, I can't say I know a lot, but I feel that a strong tie to the Relief Society in my life and the things that they've helped us through the years and the blessings that come from the Relief Society. Eliza R. Snow played an important role in that restoration. She was present when the Relief Society was first organized, and as the Society secretary took notes during the meetings, she witnessed firsthand the Relief Society um, that the Relief Society was organized after the pattern of the priesthood. How her words Below are her words, written while she was serving as second general president of the Relief Society, to help her sisters understand the divine work entrusted to the Covenant daughters. To learn more about the Relief Society was organized, see Daughters in My Kingdom, the history of the work of the Relief Society, and 50 years of Relief Society. Now, that first book, the one that I've underlined, I recommend to anybody. I haven't read it all, but I've read some of it, and most of it is um, the talks given um, by the Relief Society presidents and so forth um, through the years, and um, I think it's really important that we look at those things. If you've ever had a calling as a bishop or in the stake or something, I think that should be something that you read. Um, Not just for the women, it's for the men to learn more about the Relief Society and how it works, because it's a big part of the church. So I recommend it uh, very much so. Um, so we'll get right into it. And I think it's important to realize that how much importance Joseph Smith had put on this, and the sisters. Another thing I just wanted to point out, and I'm going to try to say it in a good way, I guess, is I think a lot of times I'll see people today spending so much time on the internet and things like that and think they know so much about what's going on in the world and things like that. And we will, I say we, as in everybody, um, will often um, look at history and go, "Oh yeah, they're dumb back then," or they're not dumb. Read the things that people have written and learn from them themselves. What I mean by that is sometimes I really feel that people think that they're smarter today than they were 200 years ago. And I find that when I read these revelations that we've been reading and other things like this from Eliza Arsenault, you go, these guys knew what they're talking about. And often we think, well, they were women were treated really bad back then. Look at how she talks about um, her life and about the things in the Relief Society back then, in Joseph Smith's era and forward. Read um, Daughters of Zion. It's worth a read because you read firsthand what they felt, not making it up because you read something on the internet. Anyway, that was my little rant. Um, so here I go in here. Although the name of Relief Society, sorry, may be of modern date, the institute is of ancient origin. We are told by Joseph Smith that the same organization existed in the church anciently, allusions to which are made in some of the epistles recorded in the New Testament, making use of the title elect. When it says, see John, 2 John 1:1, which, um, well, we'll read that really quick. The elder unto the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only, but also have known the truth. And she's tying this with this organization, the elect lady. But if you look in Doctrine and Covenants, that's what Emma is called. Behold, thy sins are forgiven thee, and thou art an elect lady, whom I have called. So she's tying that with the fact that there was women in the Bible, and they were organized to help in the work. Um, and I don't see why not. I mean, look at how many people who saw the Savior first, who knew that he was resurrected first. Those things we need to not just dismiss. This is an organization that cannot exist without the priesthood, from the fact that it derives its authority and influence from that source. Remember, members of this are set apart by the priesthood. And remember what President Oakes has said. If by what authority other than the priesthood are they ordained? I'm not quoting it exact. If it's not by the priesthood, what authority have they got? You're set apart and have that authority to do what you need to do by the priesthood or by the power of God. When the priesthood was taken from the earth, this institution, as well as every other appendage of the true order of the Church of Jesus Christ on earth, became extinct. Having been present at the organization of the Female Relief Society of Nauvoo, also having had considerable experience in that association, perhaps I may communicate a few hints that will assist the Daughters of Zion in stepping forward in this very important position, which is replete with new and multiplied responsibilities. If any of the daughters and mothers in Israel are feeling in the least circumscribed in their present spheres, they will now find ample scope for every power and capability for doing good with which they are most liberally endowed. She brings this up a couple of times, doing good. That is what the Relief Society is about. This is a picture, of course, of the old red brick store, where in the upper rooms the Relief Society was organized. Should the question arise in the mind of any, what is the object of the Female Relief Society? I would reply, to do good, to bring into question every requisition every capacity we possess in doing good, not only in relieving the poor, but in saving souls. United effort will accomplish incalculability more than can be accomplished by the most effective individual energies. In administering to the poor, the Female Relief Society has other duties to perform than merely bodily wants. Poverty of mind and sickness of heart also demand attention, and many times a kind expression, a few words of counsel, or even a warm, affectionate shake of the hand will do more good and be better appreciated than a purse of gold. I love that, and that is true today in the church. Being able to go to church on Sunday for the first time for a while, since I had gone into hospital a month ago, and to have people shake my hand, it was a real blessing. When the saints gathered from abroad, strangers to everybody and subject to be led astray by those who lie in wait to deceive, The Relief Society should be prompt in looking after them and introduce them into the society that will refine and elevate and above all strengthen them in the faith of the gospel, and in so doing be instrumental in saving many. It would require volumes in which to define the duties and privileges and responsibilities that come within the purview of the society. Go at it, under the direction of your bishop, coolly, deliberately, energetically, and unitedly, and prayerfully, and God will crown your efforts with success. I believe this strongly. I believe that there is a beautiful thing in that comes from the Relief Society, not just the president, each of the members. And I hope, as members of the Relief Society, people realize that, and that they go and they do those things that they can do in that society, and know that the Lord is with them when they do that. And I hope that we can show our gratitude for those in the Relief Society, men and women, and be grateful for what they give us. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.